Hey guys, Joker the Fool here, and I'm a big fan of Persona 5. I've beaten it twice, played over 230 hours, and Atlus, today, they released this. This is a little TV spot after one of the one of the specials of the animations. I don't know exactly what, but they announced that Persona 5R is Persona 5 Royal. It's going to have more information on April 24th. So basically, they've done an announcement. They first did an announcement announcing this announcement, and now it's a little bit of a reveal, but mostly an announcement for the whole thing. Very cryptic, but I think Atlus's games are quality, and I'm willing to stick with it through all the scriptingness. But of course, since Atlus didn't reveal too much, and what they did reveal has just made us really speculate on what we're seeing. Maybe Persona 5. Well, we know Persona 5, the Royal, as it's called, you see right here, is definitely going to be it's going to be a take on Persona 5. So I think there's Persona 4, and they had Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, which was an enhanced version of that game. So Persona 5 Royal is definitely going to be an enhanced version of Persona 5. Exactly how it's going to be, we don't know yet, but I'm pretty confident that the character they showed today is a female protagonist, and I'm going to make my case. So, the first thing is, let's go through the reveal, and let's get, through, everything we see of this character. So, and spoiler warning, I'm going to get into spoiler territory, so if you haven't played it, spoiler territory. Okay, so, I talked over a little bit. But, so, what do you think about the Phantom Thieves? Right here. So, so basically, we're in a situation. So, I have a idea. This is, pure speculation. Take this with a grain of salt. I could be completely wrong. But, essentially, this is, being asked about what do you think of the Phantom Thieves? And then think that helping people's great thing. Definitely, you see, so we definitely know that the character shown here is a Shujin student. You see the emblem, you see the uniform. It's a dead giveaway. So, she's got a ponytail here. She's wearing a hat here, and this definitely, you see the take the heart thing. So this is definitely a spoiler warning. This is probably a scene that's happening at the end of the game where they reveal themselves. So that's around the seventh palace when they seventh palace when they take over. When they give Shido's calling card, they have this grandiose thing with Joker's return when he was thought to be dead. So big spoiler warnings. That's this whole thing. But I do. So this is just, I think it's just like a little bit of a teaser trailer. So I do think this is December 24th, and apparently, if you look here, they put Joker in here. So 12/24. So this does. I didn't see this version, but Joker is shown here, but he's not shown with that female character. I think that's Haru might be there in the corner, but this could just be like a little bit of a teaser. He does give this like a little bit of an evil smile there. So that's a bit concerning. So that could that does open up a bit of a possibility of theirs. But like I said, so basically she was asked, what do you think of the Phantom Thieves? And she gives a very negative answer that people need to solve things for themselves. But I think, well, in Persona 5 the game, thanks to Omega Evolution for uploading this bit of gameplay, you've got you have your cast, you have your main cast of characters on the summer. They go on a field trip to a TV station where Akechi's being interviewed, the detective who's very much trying to catch the Phantom Thieves. And hypothetically speaking, what are your thoughts on the Phantom Thieves if they were real? And they're all positive answers. They're justice itself. They're necessary. They do more than the cops. So if if there is a if this is the female protagonist, I think that these voice lines have possibility of them being here, and she could have like a moment of doubt on what she's thinking about. That's a possibility. It's it's speculation. I would say it's not definitive. It doesn't really prove much of anything, but I can see that line being in here, and they had her voice. They had the voice actor for her, put that in there and do it do this little thing where instead of giving a positive answer, she could have like a moment of doubt on things doing. It could be how they go with the difference of character. It's certainly a possibility. I'm not entirely, like I said, it's massive speculation. There's more things. There's definitely some possibilities of what I think, what I've seen on Reddit. But another thing that leads credence to this is that Joker, as I think most of you who will be caring to watch a video of some guy speculating on what Persona 5 Royal is actually going to be. Joker's coming to Smash. It was announced in the Game Awards that they had this whole big thing that they were doing, and when there was a data mine for Smash Brothers, they found Jack, which was what Persona was. Spit there. I'm sorry about that. He had Jack, which was his character model reference, and let's see. So there was a character referred to as Jane, which I don't think that would be her final name, or she probably would be referred to as Joker, and then you just get to choose her name, and she definitely would have a Japanese name as the canon name, as most Persona characters do have some sort of canon name. And for Persona 5, it's Ren. At least in the anime, it is. That's the only one I can remember. So essentially, relating to Jack, there was Jane with a ponytail, and if we go back here. See here, Scrub. She does seemingly have, she has a ponytail. At least she has the ability to have a ponytail. So it's not like Haru's hair, or where Haru really can't have a ponytail. So she definitely can't have a ponytail, but you really can't see. It does look like So like here, it does definitely look like she's got some sort of ponytail going on. So that's a good possibility of it being, of this character being a female protagonist. And that's what I'm leaning towards, but we can, what else could she be? So let's say she's not a female protagonist. What else do you think? What are the other possibilities? And, let's see. So, we've got this on Reddit right here, the Persona 5 subreddit, which if you use Reddit and you're a fan of Persona 5, I would subscribe to it. I think it's a pretty cool subreddit. So let's see. So I've got possibility that she's a sister of the protagonist, and a few months after she moves, stuff like that. It could be a side story. It could be a side story where she gets her own persona power, and she's a bit of an opposition to the Phantom Thieves, or like a Lone Ranger, and that's a possibility. But what I've also heard is that this could be a sequel to Persona 5, which I honestly doubt. I honestly doubt that, because if the way Persona 5 ends, it is sorely, they get rid of the metaverse at the end of Persona 5. The way that Persona 5 ends really nukes any possibility of this game being a direct sequel to that. So it's definitely going to be a retelling of Persona 5. Like, it's going to be an enhanced version with more characters, more, maybe more characters. So there's a possibility that she's a confidant, that's an added party member that comes into the future with the gang, or she's like Goro Akechi in some way, where she could be working with Shido or something like that. But there's a lot of cryptic things about this, but I do think that the fact that there is a reference to Jane would mean that with the way that they're doing, I'm just clicking through tabs, the way that they're doing Persona 5's character models is that they're going to have a male version and a female version. That does give it some credence, but that's from a data mine, and you gotta put grains of salt when you are talking about dating mining stuff. So yes. Okay, so guys wants to switch port, but Persona 5, unfortunately this game, you've got that big old Sony logo, so I don't think I think the base version of Persona 5 has a possibility of coming to Switch. It would, I would love that. I've got a Switch. I'll love the Switch, and I would love Persona 5 to be on as many platforms as possible: PC, Xbox One, Switch. So as many people can buy it. It's a great game. If you have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, it's on the PlayStation 3 as well. Definitely get it. It's a great JRPG. But that's getting off topic. So essentially, what the speculation is that she's either going to be the new female protagonist, or she's going to be some sort of side character that, sort of counters the Phantom Thieves in some way, because she says, I don't think their method actually helps people. So she could know. This does lead that she knows what the method is, right? If she doesn't think their method helps people, like she knows more than the average person would know. So she could have some inside knowledge, and she could be trying to, I don't know, not take them down, maybe change their ways. Or, like I said, she could be the female protagonist in here, and she could be playing up things really, really well, in terms of really being undercover and just saying that, oh, I don't think your methods help people, it's not something I do. So just as a good cover method. So whereas here, you give some pretty canned, positive answers, if I do say so myself. So I think that the lines that she's saying could definitely fit into this situation. And like I said, she's a Shujin student. This was a field trip for Shujin, so there's a justification for her being there. And there's definitely the ability with, the female protagonist would have to be a student from Shujin, since Joker's a student from Shujin. So, these two things to me, plus this data mine, they definitely lend credence to the fact that there's a lot of green indicators that she's a female protagonist for Persona 5, and the fact that this is Persona 5 the Royal, they're definitely enhancing the game. And they've talked about let's see, game director talks about female protagonist Persona 5. Let's see if I can find it, because I remember. Okay, so we'll go for Persona 5. We'll go on Polygon. So this is the framing of this is a little. Okay, so so let's see if I can. Okay, so honestly, to put that female character option in the game, we'd have to cut other things to compensate for the workload, and every time that situation, we basically say, it's not worth it. Okay, so yeah, Persona 3 had the choice for doing male or female, right? So they've done. It's not something that hasn't been done before. So it's not like this would be new ground. For the Persona series, being able to choose the gender of your protagonist. And one of the things that they said is that, they'd have to, they went with a male character and they didn't, choose the options, because if they put in, a female protagonist, then they'd have to do more work and they'd have to rewrite a lot of stuff. And I remember them saying that they thought this, role was more suited for a male character, but just because they think it's more suited doesn't mean that they could put in a female character. So the fact that it was explicitly a workload thing sounds like it's something that they wanted to do, but because you only have a limited amount of time and resources to develop a game, they went with a male protagonist because that's what they think. That's what they think would suit the game better, and obviously most people who play JRPGs are male, and that I'm not saying that I'm not saying that a female protagonist in a game is a bad thing. I really want it. I want April 24th to come around and say this is female Joker. I would be so excited. It would just make this game so much more legendary to me, because you go on romance paths through Ryuji and Yusuke. Just if you played that, just imagine romancing like Ryuji or Yusuke, both of them, and then them having Valentine's Day go like that. That'd be really funny, I think. So there's definitely a lot of good writing that they could do, and they could really make a lot of fan service stuff for if they have a female character, in terms of like romancing the male characters, and you could even romance the female characters. That'd be interesting. But so the fact that it was, we'd have to cut out other things, for the workload, and the fact that with this game, a lot of the assets and the work and the story writing has already been done. So they've done a lot of work. It's something that they've done before. So I think that taking these things to consider, that, it's something that they considered, but they cut out because of workload and probably budget, since Persona was something that, it had success, was more of a side series for Atlus, and, a spin-off of a Shin Megami Tensei. So there's also that to consider, that Atlus, probably after Persona 5, is giving a lot more credence to the Persona series, with just how well it sold, the fact that they got into Smash Brothers and everything. So it's definitely something that's been talked about with Persona 5, and they've had it in their mind since the game's been since the game has for almost 2 years now. They probably discussed it while they were developing it, and so that definitely means that that's something that they could be considering. And the fact that, I mean, she doesn't have glasses on, so that's definitely something that's that could be, that's a signature part of his look, that he wears glasses. The Joker's got glasses on, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they remove the character, or they're just showing her without glasses. So I'd say there's a lot. Well, just grab my Game Boy Advance cartridge, because I don't know. But there's definitely a lot of things that you could say are for or against. So I've essentially made my case. There isn't a lot of information we've got. We've got to wait till April 24th. Like, let's see, we go. Let's see. Right here. So it fades out. So April 24th is when, I don't understand Japanese. If you understand Japanese, you can translate that a little bit. But I'm assuming that they'll either tell us everything, or they'll say wait till E3 or something like that. Which, if they do, if it's like a trilogy of announcements, 4 announcements, I'm going to lose it. Just a little bit. Or Persona 5 Royal is really going to have to be like amazing. But hopefully April 24th will come around, and they'll talk about things. But the fact that they put her center stage tells me that she's probably going to be really important to this game. So she'll either be she might even replace Akechi. That's definitely a possibility, where you had Goro Akechi as a sort of counter, as sort of like one of the first tangible threats to the Phantom Thieves outside of the main bosses. This new female character could be that. That just came into my mind. But she could also be a female protagonist. And very well, you could fit that into, her being a Shujin student. That could make things even more tense. But I could speculate all day on this. I could say, let's see, I've been recording for about 19 minutes now. So, yeah, so there's a whole bunch of possibilities on what this game could actually be. And I've played 200 hours of game, only Persona 5. This is just my, take on it after, watching the trailer and thinking about things and scrolling through, the comment section of Reddit. And so I do think that this question's being asked of her at the TV station on the field trips, and she's a Shujin student. It's a Shujin field trips, and she could either be taking Joker's place or she could be taking Akechi's place. That's definitely a possibility. So there's a lot of things that are, that you could say, that you could speculate about, but I think she's going to be very important to Persona 5 Royal. She's definitely going to be taking center stage, and she's going to have a big part. They wouldn't put her in this teaser if she wasn't important to Persona 5 the Royal. So I think I've speculated enough. I don't really have anything else to say, and if I start talking more, I'm going to probably go off for like freaking hours about talking about this. But if you like this video, you can like it, or if you didn't, dislike it. And I'm not sure if I'll upload more videos like this. I could do some game reviews. Like I got Sekiro, I've been playing through that, and I have a lot of fun with it. Division 2 is pretty fun as well, so I could review those. I could maybe live stream from YouTube. I'll live stream on Twitch. I'll put that link in the description if you want to watch me play games on Twitch. Then I'd be happy to have you come on a stream and say hi. But if you so if you like this sort of video, want to see more, then like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment below. What do you think? Do you really care? I mean, if you watch this video all the way through, I'm assuming that you would care about Persona 5. So if you think I'm right, that this means that she's going to be a female protagonist, then you can agree with me. And if you think that I've completely lost the plot and I don't know what I'm talking about, then just explain it to me and I'll read it. And if you got a good case, then make a good case. And if I agree, I agree. If I don't, I don't. That's just the way the world works. So, yeah. So I'm going to sign off now, and you guys have a good day.
Where have you been? Been searching all along, confessing while alone and on, without the